What's up everyone, Ian here. I'm going to go ahead and take you through some specific exercises to strengthen the knee and the hip together. They're really going to be essentially knee hinges from Kinstretch and the FRC system. And we're going to show you a couple of different variations and spots to really do them out. As always, variability is an option, so you could stop anywhere along even the transition from each spot and hit reps from there. I would suggest doing the reps that are representing your sport and also the ones that you're weak from. Now, in terms of positioning, I'm going to show you standing and using the rig. I like this because it really demands a ton of single leg kind of strength on the opposite side that's not necessarily working or doing the movement, and it also connects the foot because my foot's going to be on the ground, it's going to be locked in, and I'm going to be getting that nice connection between foot, hip, core, and everything else. That doesn't mean that you can't be flat on your back. That's another great one that I like to use. And that also doesn't mean that you can't be in the quadruped position. So if you want to put a little bit more emphasis on upper body strength and core, the quadruped position is going to be a really great spot too. So let's get into it. First and foremost, we're looking for just movement to happen at the knee and the hip of the working side. The other stuff does not move. So there's two ways I can start it. I can start off with a passive range hold, so I could passively assist me up, and then I could tension 3, 2, 1, let go, and then I can go into my rep. Or I can just start off by just pulling myself up actively as high as I can. Once I get up there, I want to try to keep my height of my knee. I won't be able to, it'll drop. And then I want to bring that all the way back and regain whatever height I got, or whatever height I lost. Now, from the side, it's really, really tricky, a couple of compensations, especially if you're a coach watching this. So I'm not going to hold on like I was, but that's what you should be. You don't really want it to be a stability exercise, even though I guess you could make it one. So say I'm up here and I start to bring this out. I don't want any knee bend. That's going to be really kind of an easier one to see. And I also don't want any spinal. So if I lack hip flexion strength, I'll lose this. Maybe my knee stays locked out, but I round my lower back. I don't want that. Now the sneakiest one is leaning back and maintaining position. So in order to open this angle and kind of leverage that height for the knee working, I can lean back into it. Really the hardest one to see as a coach, but make sure that you see that. So I haven't really lost any positioning, but I've started to lean back. So try to think about really, I'll even say to some clients, stay over it. When we stay over it, there's more compression. Things like L-sits, things like any of that kind of gymnastics kind of compression can really, really help. For the first one I just showed you, try to think about this in terms of principles and concepts. When I'm working on my hamstrings and I'm stretching my hamstrings, I need to strengthen the front side in order for that stuff to stick. Otherwise, you're opening a door and never walking through it. When we do this, we open the door by previously stretching the hamstrings, then we strengthen everything on the front side so that we can walk into the door, stay there, have a party, and make sure that we actually can do that the next day. So there's step one, or there's position one. Now we can just work our way through the hip car. So say I'm here, I can bring myself all the way out. Now as I bring myself out, I don't want this to turn, so I want to make sure that that stays locked in. Get nice and tight. I like to call this one the ballerina one. So I have as much hip abduction as I possibly can, then I let go, and then I'm going to slowly try to straighten out and then bring that back. Oftentimes what's going to happen is people are going to bring that back to here and they're not going to get this, which is what we want too. So if you're thinking about doing knee work, you want to train the full range of motion. Extend as much as you can and flex as much as you can. You'll notice that your leg's not really going to lock out unless you're actually really, really good and strong in that position. What you can do is you can lose range of motion and work on locking it out, or you can just keep training that and stop at about 90% and then come back. Either way, it's going to really help you, but just know that it's perfectly fine if you aren't able to completely lock out. We care more about avoiding compensations than reaching that full lockout. So there's position number two. Now, I'm only going to show you the third one, but just know that I could take you through here and I could work on this. If you do this one, make sure that your toe faces forward because that's a compensation. You'll see my hip just rotated instead of staying internally rotated. I could do something around here. Again, all of these spots are fair game as long as the intent matches what you're doing. The last one that I really want to go into depth about though is hip extension. Okay, so as I'm here, what I can do is pull belly button in, make sure abs are tight. I must feel this. If I don't feel this front line working, I'm gonna arch my lower back and I'm no longer gonna be doing the exercise correctly. Pull in, get nice and tight, squeeze heel to butt. Start off with as much regressive hamstring or knee flexion as you can. Now, as I go back into it, I wanna get as far as I can without anything else moving, staying tight in the abs, right? Now, I'm gonna keep my knee as far away from this pole as possible as I slowly straighten out, and then I squeeze all the way back. Slowly straighten out. Bad one looks like this. See the knee start to travel forward, and then I try to bring it back in the midline. As a coach, manual cueing, you're on the ground, you have your knee right here, you have the finger here, and you say, don't touch, don't touch. So as they guide into you, you give them that feedback. As soon as they touch, they pull off. Then they lose their abs. You put your hand up there and say, hey, you're losing your abs. Yeah, I guess I've done this a few times. So there's 2-3 different positions in detail. And remember, you can do them all the way around. You can really get into knee hinging from anywhere. Really great exercises, especially if you're working on any of that gymnastic stuff, any of that compression work. So give that a try. Let me know how it goes, and enjoy the rest of your day.